Come, your homework. Can you write your name? Class. Okay. Later I give you Pocky.
Milk. Uncle the bed.
Okay, later. One Pocky, one word. Okay? Okay? Pocky.
My name is Amanda. I am a mother of 3 kids.
Come. Easy one. Don't do that. You have to do your homework, Andrick. Okay, tomorrow I bring you go shopping. Okay. Tomorrow I bring you go shopping.
Andrick is my elder son. He is 7 years old. He is diagnosed with autism. Whenever I say do homework, he will cry, he will scream, and he will melt down, try to roll on the sofa, just refuse to do his homework. But whenever I'm firm to him, I'm stern to him, he will still listen.
Okay, no matter what, you still have to do your work. You have to submit to your teacher.
So after some times tolerating his meltdown, then he will slowly drag his feet to do his homework.
Come.
My second son is Anders. He is 4 years old. And my third child is a daughter. Her name is Angelia. When we suspected Andrick is autistic, I actually quit my normal job and then moved into real estate. So my timing is more flexible. It was quite traumatic for us because we didn't know what is autism about. That time I feel quite helpless. At that moment, I was also pregnant with my second child. It was a bit difficult to manage my emotion at that point of time.
Andrick, wakey. Don't do that. Come. Let's go to school already. Come. Hold hand.
Angie, go.
Hold hand.
Wait.
Good job. Let's go. Brush your teeth. Okay, let's go.
Definitely having Andrick, who is autistic, actually gave me a lot of different perspective of bringing up a child. So comparing to my other kid who is neurotypical, there's a very big difference on the upbringing. And for Andrick, I have to especially spend more time with him. And those little things that a normal child can do well, I have to spend more time to actually get him to do the same thing. Autistic traits that Andrick has includes no eye contact, doesn't respond to his names. Last year when he was 6 years old, I applied for Pathlight. Yeah, just like normal kids, 7 years old, they enter into primary school. What is this? Can you tell me what is this?
Flight school.
Are you excited? Excited?
Excited.
Pathlight is known to be a good autism school. They have a lot of experience in handling autism kids. And of course, it's a mainstream curriculum school as well.
Yes, good job. Don't walk away. Come. Where's your hand? Early in the morning, he has to wake up around 6:30 to change into his uniform, prepare to school. Then I'll ask him to fold back his home clothes. Fold your clothes. Later, after school, you wear back, okay? Fold. Initially, we need to teach him a few times. I'm hoping to see that he can actually do all these things by himself and be ready for school.
My mom's coming over for lunch today, so I guess I had to clean up first. She usually would not like to see a messy house. I have been living on my own for a little more than a year now. Before I moved out, I was very reliant on the maid because I wanted the maid to do all the dirty work for me. I was very angry when I had to do chores on my own. Unfortunately, I had to slowly learn how to do things myself. Oh, Mom.
What are you doing?
Just cleaning the house.
I bought you lunch.
Yeah, sure.
You just woke up.
Yeah.
Hungry? Come. Hi, I'm Mary. Marcus is the eldest of my 4 children. He's a high-functioning autistic adult. He moved out because he had some problems with his stepfather, and I couldn't put the two of them together under one household. Was it stressful? I think so. Huh? The main complaints were his late turning in to bed. He confines himself in the room. He always has his gadget in front of him. And Marcus has this habit to draw in the air, talk to himself. The stepdad, his patience was a bit short. So after a while, he just couldn't take that kind of behavior, because it's not just a bad habit that we're trying to manage here. Marcus feels that whatever I'm doing, as long as I'm comfortable, I'm fine. But he just doesn't care about what other people think. In the end, the stepdad got upset after a while, because when Marcus starts doing that same mistake again and again and again, the stepdad thought of a solution, which is basically to penalize him by charging him for every mistake he made. It pushed Marcus beyond the limit, and he felt so pressured to the extent that he just had a meltdown. On one of the days, I was nagging at Marcus for staying too long in front of the computer. And then there was some argument between me and him, and then my husband stepped in, and then both of them started quarreling. Marcus started to get agitated.
I felt very angry that he refused to understand. I felt that I should deserve special treatment, but he thought that nobody deserves special treatment.
Then there was some physical struggle between the two of them.
I don't know how that got into a fight, but one thing led to another.
My husband, he pushed Marcus,
And I actually pointed the scissors at him.
and he was accused of trying to threaten my husband with the scissors. And then I had no choice. I had to call the police. We also called the ambulance, bring Marcus to IMH. The doctor actually said there's nothing wrong with your son. He's calm, he's well, he's okay, you can bring him back. I explained, I cannot bring him back. I need him to stay away from the house for the time being. And they agreed and allowed Marcus to stay in IMH for about 3 days.
I was lost. I couldn't do anything. I was very angry.
I was caught in between. One is my son, one is my husband. It was very difficult for me to decide who I should support. I think I made a mistake by supporting my husband too much. And I didn't consider Marcus' feelings. So at one point of time when the relationship was really bad between,
Because of monetary concerns, I didn't want to move out. But I know that having my own place would definitely be mentally better for me.
From my husband's side, I think the expectation is still there that he will not make it. because he's staying on his own. One of the things I worry is if he falls sick, there's no one to care for him. That's actually my biggest concern, especially with COVID. He refuses to get vaccinated. How? You don't want to take your vaccine, really?
I told you I think I shouldn't be taking the vaccine.
I book for you.
No.
Huh?
I'll cancel if you book. Everybody else is vaccinated and I'm not because of my own beliefs, and unfortunately their beliefs are different from mine.
What about the non-mRNA?
And I still have to wait
Go
and
for
see.
the vaccine. Go for the vaccine, and then after that, you're free to do everything that you want to.
Yeah, but at the expense of my body having side effects and all that. I'd rather not take that chance. Not getting vaccinated does not affect my work because it's mostly at home based.
You go for the non-mRNA one lah. He's been reading about the damages that it can do to your health. I think it's his ASD that keeps him determined not to get vaccinated because he believes in what he reads.
I'm an adult. I think I should be making my own health decisions and doing my own research. I make my own informed decision. That would be it.
I have this mommy group which I chance upon through Facebook. They all share their journey taking care of their autistic kids. So I think one of my difficulty is how do I give each of the child and give them some timing, and at the same time you need to work also, but every day is just so packed.
Like I always share with parents, even though he has a disability, doesn't mean that he's disabled or unable to function as independently as possible. And I also told Hui Hui, if he does not complete his task, it's okay, let him get away with it. But tomorrow, you're going to put it back there again. He just cannot get away with it.
Once you start on a schedule and then make sure you enforce it, I think over time they will progressively want to follow it.
It's very tough. It's not going to be very easy. I think it really gives new meaning to tough love, right?
That's my dilemma also. I wanted to make his life easier and make him feel happier, but at the same time, I also don't want to force him to do things that he don't want to do.
So if you don't discipline him when he's young, when he's older, there's no way you can discipline him because he's going to be stronger than you. He will probably carry you into the lift, that kind of thing. And he may end up even, injuring you. So he better know who's the boss first.
Andre, come, stand up. Can you help me sweep the floor? I'm teaching him how to do some simple chores like sweeping the floor. Later we play, okay? You help me sweep the floor. Tissue paper on the floor, okay? And hold the broom on the other hand and then sweep like this. Okay? Sweep the tissue paper in. Yes, good job. Some more. Sweep the tissue paper inside. Sweep. Yes. This is part of his daily living skills that I need to train him. Wow! Yo! Good job, Andre. Give me a high five. Yes!
Mom helped me do most of the interior decoration. She helped me paint the walls and set up the furniture. I basically had to learn how to do all those house chores after I moved in. It's the only way to survive. I wouldn't want to end up like mostly some folks which basically can't even keep their house clean and attract a lot of cockroaches. Mom taught me how to fold the laundry. I really don't know what's the real purpose of folding clothes or making it look neater. Back in Mom's house, I always borrow and read these kind of books, mostly in an attempt to learn how to earn more money for myself. That way I can at that time break free from my stepfather's stranglehold on me. I'm gonna put this in bluntly. He will ask for money. He will ask for a fine. He will ask for a fine. Living with my stepfather, it got increasingly stressful because he decided to punish me for my actions. And several habits like talking to myself, drawing in the air, or isolating myself in a corner, doing my own things. And when I continued to do these activities, that triggered him. Now that I'm living in my own home and I wouldn't be judged about how I do these things, it actually feels more liberating, to say the least.
Where's our house? That block in front.
No.
Later, then we go playground. Walk to our block first, can? You see the car park? There's a car park on the right. And on the left is our block. Okay? Come, you walk straight under the shelter here. This is, of course, our first time teaching him the route back home. Then he needs more practice so that he can get the routine of it and then recognize the way back home. It's very important because for special needs kids, especially for him, he tends to roam off. If we never look closely at him, he tends to roam off elsewhere. So if we couldn't get our eyes on him and he walked elsewhere, right, then he might lose his way. We go and take the lift, okay? Can you help me press the lift? Wait. Later we come down again. Later we come down again. Come, Andrick. Later we come down again. Okay, later we come down again. Can you help me press the lift? Yeah, you have to press the lift and wait for the lift. Okay, wait.
When we bring him downstairs, he has the impression that he will be going to the playground. As an autistic child, they go by routine. Once you prepare them that they are going to the playground, if you didn't bring them there, they will resist. Yeah, so routine is very important for kids with autism.
Okay, come, the lift is here. Come. The lift is here. Come, let's go in. Go in, later we come down. Come. Later, then we come down. Come. Hey, Andrick, no. Can you stand up? Don't be like this. Dangerous. Dangerous, no. Okay, so we go to level 18. Okay. Let's go play together with Titi. Wait for Titi go up first.
When Anders was younger, when Andrick has meltdown or when Anders cry, Andrick will actually hit him.
1, 2, 3.
Either kick him or hit his head. So we try to not put them together because I'm worried that Andrick might hurt Anders. So we try to separate them. Sometimes Andrick will be at my parents-in-law place, then the other one will be at home. They are not so good yet, but we are trying to actually bring them together.
Titi fall down, you must catch him. Catch him. Fall down, you must catch him.
I was really thinking of getting Anders to help in taking care of Andrick when he grows older.
Come, ask Coco, come up. Ask Coco, come up. Anders, I asked you, ask Coco, come up. Why you do the same thing? Come. Let's tickle Coco again. Coco, come up.
Trying to get them to play together, bonding. Because parents, we will grow old and we will pass on. So it's the siblings themselves, they are about the same age that they can take care of each other.
Do you hold hand together? Hold hand. Hold hand.
Hold hand. Say I love you.
I love you.
Yeah, good job. Good job. You know, Coco is special. He's special, right? So next time, can you help mommy to take care of Coco together? Can? If Coco run away, can you follow Coco? If it's dangerous, can you tell Coco it's dangerous?
Sometimes I help Coco.
Sometimes you help Coco. Oh.
And 7 years old must take care of 4 years old.
Yes. Coco can also take care of you. Y'all take care of each other. Have to build their bonding. Because if we are not around in the future, they have to be with each other.
I'm going to meet Dr. Lim. She is actually the founder of Caring SG. Meeting her to seek some advice from her.
Hi, Dr. Lim. Nice to meet you. I'm really good.
My oldest one is 19 and she has so-called low support needs autism. My youngest one is 12. He has the hyperactive kind of ADHD plus autism. My middle one, she's neurotypical, but I always tell myself to remember her because she, sandwiched between two special needs siblings, is the one who is often neglected.
I have my Anders, who is the second one. He is 4 years old. And since young, I have been telling him that his Coco is special. So I may need you to help to take care of Coco.
One very important lesson I learned is that the siblings are often forgotten. And they didn't choose to be caregivers. They're just born into it, and we shouldn't burden them to be caregivers. My second one, she tells me, Mommy, when I was in K2, you told me when I grow up, I must look after Jie and Didi. She said, so you don't love me, is it? I'm born, you give birth to me because you need me to look after my Jie. Wow, it really broke my heart. Because I didn't realize that she took it that way. But a lot of them actually feel that way. So from that moment on, I tell myself, she is not destined to be a caregiver for my two other children. I will make plans for them. But for this second one, I want her to be free. I want her to be free to make life choices. So we have to be there for our neurotypical children as well.
After talking to Dr. Lim, I learned that I shouldn't make the other two siblings feel that they actually born into this world just to take care of their autistic brother. So we have to work really hard to get him to be independent.
Mom is pushing me for vaccination, but I don't know if I'm going to get. By not getting vaccinated, my lifestyle doesn't change much. The only thing I may not be able to do is enter malls and enter restaurants to eat in. That's about it. I usually don't go out. I'm usually at home. It is also partially because I don't have so much friends that I don't even need to go out. I spend a lot of time playing this game. It's because it appears to be very addictive. I spend at least 3 hours playing this game. Leslie is telling me to stop playing this game because this is getting me nowhere. So I'm doing it because I'm bored. Well, I guess it's almost 8 o'clock. I think it's time to listen to the radio. Usually I listen because of those easy listening ballads, and also John Class is here. So originally I listened to love songs because of the choice of songs that he picked. Not so much of him, but I guess I've grown attached to his voice.
Class 85, Singapore's #1 English radio station, Unconditional Love.
It has been quite hard to make friends because of my socially awkward condition. I'm really quite of a private person, so it's just why I couldn't make friends.
I hope you're feeling good, whatever that is you're doing. It's a rainy night. Just come out from the streets as well.
I do sometimes feel a bit lonely. They're cooking like ban mian soup with fish cake and some seaweed. That's it. I have not ever cooked for anybody else. It's only for myself. I do not have a girlfriend. Eventually I would, but that would depend on the situation. It would mean that I will have to change my behavior to accept her for who she is. I am not ready for a girlfriend. Maybe one day.
Come, Hendrik, let's come in. We sit on the sofa first. Come, sit down here. Today we are here at My Full Bear, so we will be talking to a speech therapist to find out in terms of speech what Hendrik needs.
Hey, hi Amanda.
Hello.
Hey, hi Hendrik. Hello, Uncle Chua
Say
here.
hi.
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 Wonderful. Come, Uncle Chua bring you in.
Come,
Are you ready?
you going?
Just give me your hand.
Hand.
Give my hands. Wonderful. Come, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Ayo. You're ready. Let's go, let's go. Wonderful. Be seated behind the table. The small, tiny table behind the table. Wonderful. Here. Come, have a seat. Hi, Rita.
Hi, Rita.
Hi, Hendrik. How are you?
Trampoline.
Oh, trampoline. Okay, come, bring a chair here. Hendrik, come.
Hendrik needs speech therapy because he doesn't have two-way communication. So whenever we ask him questions, he don't answer us. Or whenever he requests for things, he is still using 1 or 2 words. Speech is actually very important because for kids, they interact through speech. So getting him to work on his speech is one of the ways to get him to actually have the interaction with other children.
Hendrik, we're going to show you a few pictures. Can you tell Miss Rita and Uncle Chua what you see? What's the first one? This is a...
What's this? Hendrik, what's this?
Hendrik isn't really responding to what the therapy is asking him to do.
Okay. Hendrik, Uncle Chua is going to ask you, is this pink or is this blue? Okay, you take your time, okay? Is this pink or blue?
Because it's a new environment, so he's still exploring in the environment, looking at different things in the environment.
How do you wear a mask? Show Uncle Chua how to wear a mask. Very good. You know how to wear this? Yes, wonderful. You know what is the mask? Okay, let's go. Forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ayo!
Trampoline.
Hendrik has really explored the room. He's really found a few things that he's liked. What we're going to try and do now is focus on the fundamental of things. So before language can even come in, it's like turn taking, waiting, imitation, eye contact. Let him find something that he likes and then try and take turns doing it with him.
Okay.
What has he found in the cupboard right now?
He's taking out all the fruits.
If he's got the fruits, has he labeled them?
I can ask him to label. Hendrik, what is this?
Mango.
Is this a mango? What is this?
It's a cucumber.
Now let's try upping it a little bit. So if he's got the corn, if he says corn, can you say yellow corn? Just put the color of whatever it is in front.
What is this?
Yellow.
Yellow. Corn. Say yellow.
Yellow corn. Yellow
Yes,
mango.
good job. What is this?
Green cucumber.
Good job.
You're doing really well, Amanda, especially getting down to his level, trying to get him to look at you and say what you're saying and repeating. That's really good.
What is this?
Watermelon.
What color is the
Red
watermelon?
watermelon.
Red.
Watermelon.
We are starting to see him having 3 to 4 word sentences. So it's actually very good. But one thing about speech therapy also is because it's very expensive. Sometimes I question myself, is it worth it to spend so much? Will I really see improvement in him?
Mommy brush teeth for you, okay? Okay, brushing. Open your mouth. Ah. Okay. Come, don't swallow, okay? Okay. Right now, it's still very expensive to send kids with autism for therapy. Open. Yeah, if I can have more funds that I can send him for more sessions per week, more intensive therapy session, it will be, of course, more beneficial for him.
Andrew.
You want to brush yourself? Okay. Got a bit of blood. You must brush. If I send him every week, right, 4 times a month, it will be 600. Occupational therapy plus speech therapy, 600, plus his school fee, 776 per month, that will be 2,000. So for him, every month, I'm spending about 2,000. So we are kind of a sandwich. Yeah, we don't earn a lot. It's neither here nor there. Middle class, I would say, below middle or middle class. We are not eligible for subsidy, but we don't have so much money to cover all his expenses.
What do I worry about Marcus? Everything. His future, his job, his social life, his health. He has to be healthy, otherwise it will affect everything else. His job, his income. So getting the vaccination is very important for him.
So if I book a date right now, you think about it, okay? Once the date is confirmed, the appointment is confirmed, okay, I'll let you know, and then you decide whether you want to go for it or not. Okay, then you let me know, okay?
Today, I have agreed to book a slot for a vaccination appointment for my mom, not for myself.
Okay? Why you
I have agreed to book an appointment for a vaccination because of peer pressure from my family. But the decision still lies with me. Like I said, I will need to think about it.
I really hope that he will think about it. If people around him can encourage him and let him see the benefits of being vaccinated, I think, and he's able to open up and be willing to go for the appointment, then that will be good.
Hi, Wei Yang. Nice to meet you.
Hi Amanda. Yeah, come this way.
Sure. Today I'll be meeting Wei Yang to find out some advice from him on the employment opportunity for persons with autism. Actually, the biggest question I have, right, is for my son Andrick, whether he can be independent in the future, able to support himself, get a job and earn a living for himself.
For each individual, their strengths are different. Right, but in general, most individuals on the spectrum work better with structured routine tasks when there's clear step-by-step instructions. But what's important is that we look into the strengths of the individuals on the spectrum. Right? We try to see where their strengths are. They can do jobs ranging from white collar, so they can do office jobs where they're working in banks or ministries where they do things like scanning, digitization, data entry. Right? They can also do jobs such as like IT and coding. So these are really the strengths which the employers come to value. They will fight to be able to sustain and keep these employees because they see value in their strengths and not because they're taking pity on them. For all individuals on the spectrum, they can lead a life of meaning, dignity, and independence.
I felt very hopeful. I feel that there's still a lot of hope for persons with autism. They can still find a job. There's training around for them to actually blend them into the environment.
I currently work as a freelance digital content creator. I do mostly 3D graphics, photography, video editing, and recently I have to dabble into animation. The job enables me to pay for my own rent and my own utility bills. Mom still gives me allowance because she's worried that this kind of jobs pay a bit little compared to having a stable full-time job. The thing is, unfortunately, it was hard to find a job because nobody will have that kind of accommodation for me and my work attitude. I hold a multimedia degree, but the thing is, I only got admin jobs. It didn't last long. I slept in the office, I watched videos, I play with my phone during my work time. In the office, I would sometimes talk to myself, I was a bit noisy. Maybe I did draw in the air, they didn't like it. Okay, working as a freelancer, at least I have my own time and my own flexibility, and whenever I had the energy, I would do it. Today I'm going to meet Leslie. He's my friend and my boss. Hey, Leslie.
Hey, good afternoon.
Yeah, hi.
You had your meal?
Yeah.
Okay, come, take a seat.
Okay.
Yeah, show me what you have done.
Let's do this.
So we are supposed to create a breeding scene, right?
Yep,
Correct?
and this is what I did so far.
Yep, okay. Marcus has been working for me for about 2 years. So when I first got to know Marcus and I've seen some of his projects that he's done, I felt that he has all the skill sets, you know. He just needs a platform where he can exhibit his talents. Show me what's the next animation that we have to do. Okay, I see that you have created the lotus resting on water. So it makes the lotus look more realistic.
Yep, the particles and all this are representative of the energy.
From my experience, someone with ASD is a bit different from neurotypical people like us. So we just had to create a system and not like overtax them. With Marcus, we don't do like extensive meetings. Yeah, we will do like short brief. I'll get him to execute, show me something. We'll do in stages instead.
So our animation will eventually be adjusted to suit the final output.
We need to plan our schedule, our timing properly because we need to deliver this whole project within a month.
Currently, this is the best working environment I had so far, even with all the stresses and the like.
So far, I'm happy with what I'm seeing. Now, what we have to look forward is just your final piecing of the whole thing together.
I respect him a lot. That's because he gives me an alternative side of view that my family may not have. He makes sure that at least I have some money to spend for myself.
He's getting all of his jobs from Leslie. What happens if one day Leslie retires, you know? And what is Marcus going to do? To be very honest, he's so comfortable with his current lifestyle. If he has to move into a full-time job, 9 to 5, it is going to be very difficult for him to adjust. With Marcus's income, he can actually afford to pay the rent on his own. And that's also because we got this place under the subsidized scheme. But it didn't come easy because I had to go through 2 or 3 rounds of appeals to the HDB. These are the old letters that I actually appealed. So the first rejection was in 2017. Yeah, so this was the letter that I wrote to HDB. First time it was rejected, and then I was told he has to have another person, that means a co-tenant to live with. Marcus doesn't have any friends, he doesn't have anybody that he can live with. And I appealed the second time. It was also rejected because he was underage back then, he was only 21. And then he didn't have
an income yet. Then in 2020, I wrote again to HDB to appeal. I even brought Marcus to see the MP, and I explained that because of Marcus' ASD, cannot hold any full-time job. He cannot live with other people. He has to have a roof, and he doesn't get along with the stepfather. And the stepfather will not accept him back in this household anymore. The MP actually helped to connect me to a couple of resources for autistic people, and I redirected the query to HDB. It was a difficult time, right? And I was under also a lot of pressure to get a place for him on his own. You know, I really hope that there is a kind of like a community living hostel or place, basically a residential place where high-functioning autistic people are able to stay. For Marcus, there was no option at all. Open market rental is far too expensive for him to afford. You know, with the housing prices on the rise, it's so expensive to get a place for him. So in 2020, the MP, he replied, I understand that HDB Rental has received special approval for your adult son, Marcus, to rent a HDB flat alone. In October, we got the keys and he moved out officially back then and stayed on his own. So it doesn't actually happen to everyone who is in the same situation as you.
I mean, I should be thankful and super lucky that this happens.
Also, you must learn to manage this on your own. Huh?
Yeah, sure. Hello?
Yeah?
Mom, I thought about it very hard and actually I decided not to go for my vaccination appointment.
Then you don't want to go?
I don't want to go because actually we originally booked the appointment in order to make you happy, but then I thought about it very hard and I decided my well-being is a lot more important than this.
But at any point of time when you go, you gotta take precautions, and then also you got to make sure that you wash your hands when you come back.
I always do that, Mom. Don't worry.
This vaccination is for your own health sake, like, not to make me happy.
Alright.
Okay, I hope you change your mind,
I love her and I appreciate what she has done. I only hope Mom will understand because ultimately it's my own decision and not hers to take.
I've given him all the advice that I can, and I still worry about the side effects that he has to go through if he ever contracts the virus. I think I have to respect his decision at the end of the day. It's his body, it's his choice. He's a grown adult.
Come on, Ruth.
Put on.
Sometimes you will think, will my life be more easier if I'm single? I think some of the mother will think this way lah. Being a mother, you will feel blessed sometimes when you see your children grow. So one of the things which I have learned from mummies from the support groups, we being mother with autism kids, we are actually the chosen one because God believes that we have the power to take care of them. Whenever I'm down, whenever I'm feeling very bad myself, I will always think of this sentence. Yeah.
Tie shoelace. First, like this. Pull these two ribbon. Yes, good job.